We're already a quarter of the way through 2026, so here are my favorite and least favorite albums from the year that have dropped so far. This whole video is kind of just an excuse for me to make a video about this album. The Understudy by Wyatt Waddell is currently my album of the year. It's got a lot of soul influences, but it draws so much more buzz than that. Progressive soul, yacht rock, funk, pop rock. It has so many different styles and so many different influences that every single time that I pick up this album again, I hear someone completely different. A lot of it is Stevie Wonder. If you're a huge Stevie Wonder fan, you'll kind of get a lot out of this, but reminds me a little bit of like Steely Dan, Thundercat, some weird different pulls, Chicago. There was one track that kind of reminded me of Blues Traveler, so a lot of different pulls from this. I have a full written review of this that I will make a full video on at some point during the year. It's just got a lot of backlog I'm going to get to first, but this is currently my album of the year. Came out of nowhere. I think he was big on TikTok or something like that, but just completely blew up. Just found it on my Spotify page, and yeah, it's like a 9 out of 10. I really love it so far. I'm not sure where this ranks on my worst albums of the year, but this has got to be up there somewhere. The new Kid Laroi was kind of bitter, really sad. It's a more breakup-oriented album with his relationship with Tate McRae, and I won't get into too many of the gossipy details. You can look that up on your own, but it just makes him kind of look like an asshole and really just playing the victim throughout the whole thing. He also shied away from his regular pop rap sounds to have this be more of a contemporary R&B release, and I always thought it was interesting because he got very famous from having Justin Bieber on one of his biggest songs of all time, and then just went on to copy Justin Bieber's sound that he did on like his Swag album, which was already a copy of something that artists like Dijon and McGee were already doing. So it's just kind of like a copy of a copy. It just never really sat right with me. Yes, I know this is cheating a little bit because it did come out in 2025. However, I do stop my ratings and my rankings for my year-end lists at the beginning of December, and I feel like it would have been criminal if I didn't include this in some sort of venue because this album is amazing. It is album of the year material for me. I've been following Red Veil for about 4 years at this point, someone from the underground who absolutely deserves all the attention he can get. If you love your jazz rap, you love your conscious hip-hops, if you love neo soul, if you love a lot of really mature growing up and storytelling in your hip hop, absolutely give this one a try because it is chock full of it. Not necessarily one of the worst releases this year, but probably one of the more disappointing. I am a very big Joji fan. I even went to the pre-release party for this album drop, and just a lot of songs on this just sound like a lot of what he did on his album Nectar in 2020. A lot of the same theming. I was a little led astray by the first track, which was the lead single of this that was released like I think a month or so ahead, where it was way more distorted, sounded like he was going in a new direction, as I feel like a lot of his other albums had sort of a similar sound all to their own on this album, but he kind of just went back to that well, and while there are a lot of good songs on this, I would say the majority of them weren't really attention grabbing. I don't think I listened to this outside of the first couple weeks after this was released, and just kind of a letdown for me. This is one of those albums that had the underground talking for some time. It is Erg by Mandy Indiana, technically labeled as an electro-industrial album, which is something that didn't necessarily grab my attention too quickly. However, the more and more re-listens I got, it is really unique and interesting. It has a lot of musical genre blends like noise rock, industrial rock, synth punk, even some industrial hip-hop on there as well. There's a track with Billy Woods on here that is really great, kind of gave me some Death Grips vibes to just how industrial it sounded. The lead singing and all the vocals are done in French, so that's also kind of alluring. I did try to put the lyrics into some translate and try to get some more meaning out of it too, and they were very interesting. The closing track is very, very good as well. Kind of talks about, actually the only song in English too, kind of talks through the point of like an incel man trying to justify SA and kind of make all these different excuses for it as well. Probably one of my favorite albums of the year, and favorite songs of the year. Also gonna be probably my favorite album cover of the year too. It just looks so cool. I saw this album picking up a lot of buzz and I gave it a shot, and it just wasn't really for me at all. It just sounds like Lil Xan had a bad blind date with like a bedroom pop producer and came up with this. Kind of has like a mix of pop rap and electro pop on it as well, but the vocals are just so boring and uninteresting, and he sounds like half asleep throughout the whole thing. Not necessarily for me. Converge has been doing their metalcore and mathcore sound for the better part of 30 years, and this album still sounds fresh, still sounds like they're at the top of their game. If you need a really good gym album, this is probably my favorite gym album of the year so far. Just absolutely brutal, just will be in your face the entire time, doesn't give a shit about it, and they've been doing it for like 30 years, so it's incredible. Shout out to my guy from France from dropping this. While they are making a big wave in French rap, I guess is becoming a new thing. It is really tough to listen to for the entirety of this, and it's only 18 minutes. It can be a little bit intriguing, but it is just really overblown, in your face at all times. Just something that's really tough to sit through, even if it's that short. Let me know your favorite and least favorite albums that have dropped so far in the comments below, and I will see you at the halfway point.